Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorials brought to you by Photoshop Elements Custom Tutorials Group. And let's jump right in with today's poster. Wanted to know how to create these wings on a wall. Now, in the poster's examples, they gave us this wall instead and these wings. Now, you have to consider something really, really important. Look how bright these wings are. Look how dark this wall is, and look at the original. The original is much brighter than this dark wall. So you have to do something with this wall, otherwise it's going to be really hard to make the wings look like this. So what I would do is first take the wall and fix it by brightening it up just a little bit so that bright wings will look a little better on this wall. I can go over to here to enhance and hit Auto Smart Fix. But check it out. It looks really good, but it's just a little bit too bright. So let me go ahead and undo that. And I'm going to do it manually by going to Enhance, Lighting, Brightness, Contrast. And what I'm going to do is bring the contrast down a little bit. Look at the photo. If I do it really fast, you can see what happens. It exaggerates it more if I bring it up, or it brings it a little bit lighter and softer when I bring it down. So I'm going to bring it down just a tad and bring the brightness up just a little bit like that. Not much. You can check out the before and after. It's really subtle what we did, and we'll hit OK. So now we got a little better of a wall to work with. Now our other issue is going to be with the wings. So the problem with the wings is that they are so bright that they're going to mix in with this white background. If you try to use the magic tool, and if the lines were really sharp, it would work. Like let's say if we put this up at 50% and we click in the white, look what happens when I hit delete. Half of the wings are gone. No matter what we do here, if I bring this down to 5 and then try to grab, guess what happens? Look up here when I hit delete. Part of the wings are gone. So using the magic tool is just not going to work. It's not the right tool for this job. Let me go ahead and undo that. And basically what we're going to have to do is carefully erase away here, because when I zoom in, you see how jaggedy these lines are? This is why the magic tool doesn't work. It's also why the polygon tool in itself wouldn't work, because where do you grab this? Along the outside of the jag, the inside of the jag? It's really hard to see any sharp lines. So you have to kind of create your own lines with the eraser. So what we're going to do is use an eraser, get a really small point eraser, like 5 point, a soft brush. And this way you can kind of just create your own lines. It takes a little more elbow grease to do it this way, but you know what? It will come out a lot better. And basically just trace the whole image until you get to the end. Now, once you get to the end of tracing the wings, now we want to cut out in between to get rid of the background using the polygon tool. Zoom in really close, and all you got to do is okay, so once we get down here where we started and the polygon meets up with itself, all we're going to do here is double click and it closes the whole polygon. And if I zoom out, you'll see the marching ants on this portion of the wings, the left portion. In this case, we right click and select copy. So what that's going to do is create a new layer. So if I hit copy, boom, it created a new layer. And how do we know? We could turn off the bottom layer and see our new layer. This is our new layer, just the wing. So now I'll turn the background on and then use the polygon tool once again to cut out the right one. So once again, just like before with the other wing, when you get to the end here where you started, you double click. That'll close the marching ants or the polygon tool, so that when you right click, you hit copy, and look up here, it just made the other portion of the wing. So I can turn off the background. I'm going to go ahead and merge the top wing, the left one, with the bottom one by right-clicking on the top one and saying merge down. That makes them both into one separate wings. So now what we want to do is take this wings, or this tab or project if you will, and drag it up with the left mouse button into our other project or the other tab. I can bring it back down and I'll let go. And here we go, we got us the wings in front of the new wall. Now This isn't going to be exactly like the original photo that the poster used as an example, because notice that this is a brick wall and this is full color. So this is going to be a little bit different look and feel than what we're creating, because what we're creating here is completely black and white. So it'll never have the same feel. So it's going to look different. So first what we'll do is we'll reduce the wing size by grabbing the corner, bringing it back down, but we'll try to keep it using most of the wall, which is going to be right around here like this. So now that we got our wings on the wall where we want them, now we need to make them look like they're integrated into the wall. So what we want to do is make two copies. One is going to be the reverse copy, and the second is going to be a copy that helps us magnify the lines behind the wall. So what I'm going to take is this first copy, and let's bring it down to what we want it to look like at the very end. Let's say that's what we want the wings to look like at the very end, at its brightest point. So if that's what we want to cut that in half. So if that's 40%, let's bring that down to 20%. And that makes it really subtle and much more see-through. So now we're going to double it. We'll right-click here and we'll hit duplicate. And now we got two layers. Now what we want to do is draw the lines out of the top layer. So I'm going to take the eraser, and this is like a 15 point, and all we want to do is just copy these lines that are coming across here using shift click. And we'll adjust the actual percentage of the photo afterwards. And you see these lines match the lines that are on the wall behind it. We'll go horizontal, now we go vertical. Once we got those lines painted out, now we can take that top layer and we can play around with it so that it's harsher or more subtle. And we're going to bring it down, that's like at about 10%. And now it looks like the lines from the bricks underneath are showing through. And finally, if we really want, we can take the bottom layer, the original background, I can duplicate it and actually put it on top of the wings. We'll take the opacity, bring that all the way down, and just bring it up just ever so slightly and watch the photo. Look at the wings. They're starting to dissolve into the image. And we just play around with this until we are happy with what we got. Right here at about 25 points, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Now the only thing left is that it's too bright on the top. Look at the photo, it's really dark up here and it's much brighter at the bottom. So we need to do that with the wings itself. As a matter of fact, they probably would be almost not visible by the time you get to the top end. So now we're going to do a final layer. Let's grab the eyedropper tool and grab the darkest point of the photograph, which is probably pure black. Let's check it. Yes, sure is. It's pure black. We're going to bring the photo way back like that. Grab a brush. We'll make this brush really big, like a 2000 point soft brush, and look how big that brush is. So I'm going to zoom the picture way out, grab the brush again, and I want it to take over most of the photograph like this. And from up here, I'm going to go ahead and just draw one big black line like that. And that darkens the whole top. And now finally just take the opacity of that top layer and lessen it. Right around there, that's looking pretty good at about 45%. Now I can take the eraser and kind of erase away using a 500 point brush. Erase away the rest of the black that's beyond the wings, because we don't want to lose the dimension of the original photo too much. And that's pretty much all there is to it. I can toggle this on and off. And there you have it. Well, that's all there is for this tutorial. This is Rich, calling it quits, saying over and out.